Hello everyone, my name is Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is June 4th, 2025. And Bitcoin is on the verge of moving up to our target and hitting our target of between 107 and 108K, but more importantly, in that time, we're still expecting altcoins to make a massive move, much bigger than the 4 to 5% move that we expect Bitcoin to make, but they have yet to make that. Will they make that? We're going to look at that in this episode. Also, I'm going to share an insight that I've just had about altcoins, on the altcoin space, about, the altcoin market, and this is not something I've ever heard anybody share ever before. Maybe people have, but then again, I wouldn't know because I'm not consuming that much content outside of my own analysis. So do let me know if people have mentioned this, but it may prove very useful to you if you're interested in altcoins, if you're exposed to altcoins. So stick around for that. If that all sounds interesting to you, then watch until the very end. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get into it. Let's start with Bitcoin on the hourly time frame. So the higher time frame analysis stands. We've been saying Bitcoin is bearish and we expect a massive move down, but first we need to complete this retracement that we're likely experiencing right here. Okay, this retracement, which is a retracement of this initial move down, retraces Bitcoin to approximately the 107-108K region. Okay, and we've said also in that time altcoins should also enjoy a move up, but a much larger move up, and that's been corroborated by our read of the Bitcoin dominance indicator. So today, as of recording, we have yet to move, but it looks like Bitcoin is just about to move. And what do we have here? Okay, as I said in the previous episode, you have these rounded bottoming structures. Okay, the rounded structure is more like right here. Okay, and actually, you can count this in terms of Elliott wave AB base theory. I think it's quite useful. And here I spy a first break of structure, a first counter, second break, second counter, right? This is my secondary counter right here. Tertiary break, tertiary counter. This mini accumulation channel should be complete based off of that count. The count can be wrong. There could be compounded sort of flat corrections there that I'm not seeing, but based off of that, we're good to go. Okay, and this really underlines the overall analysis of Bitcoin not being bullish here, because you don't need, if you're really bullish and you're in a bullish trend, you're not putting in all kinds of mini accumulations just to go up a bit, right? You're kind of continuing the trend, and you accumulate and you reaccumulate. You reaccumulate, but you do so concertedly, and you just keep moving up and up and up in the direction of the trend. You don't put in drawn out, elaborate consolidation patterns just to reclaim a level that's right above you, 5 to 7%, right? So our overall thesis of Bitcoin being in a larger downtrend, having started or initiated a larger downtrend, really is underlined by Bitcoin having to put in 5 days worth of accumulation just to move up a bit. Okay, so pay attention to that. It's been 5 days since we've been in this mini accumulation pattern. So that's Bitcoin, and once again, the target is still between 107 and 108K, thereabouts, and the way we ascertained that target was by pulling our fibs from the top right there to, let's actually pull it down to here. I like this better right now, rather than counting this as the orthodox low based off of that AB base count that I just made. So I'm going to adjust ever so slightly our target a little lower to between 107.5 and 108.5. I think that's more appropriate. Okay, so Bitcoin is likely to hit that target, and that is essentially going to form our right shoulder of this larger bearish reversal pattern. This is the left shoulder, this is the head, right shoulder. Okay, so that's all we're looking at. Nothing's changed. We've just been waiting for that. Now, more importantly, altcoins, altcoins, altcoins. It's all about the altcoins. What are altcoins doing? Well, let's have a look at our total 3 chart. Remember, total 3 represents every asset in crypto minus Bitcoin minus Ethereum. And the total 3 has also put in an accumulation over the past 5 days. But that accumulation has been a bit different than what you see in the Bitcoin chart. Here, let's go on the hourly time frame. Compare apples to apples. What you can see is a bullish reversal pattern and a breakout and a retest. So here's the bullish reversal pattern. Okay, you can call it a cup and handle, bullish reversal pattern, inverse head and shoulders. It doesn't matter. Breakout. This is the retest. You retest the neckline of that breakout. Remember last episode, I believe we were talking about this breakout, and that was exciting. But now every breakout, any breakout needs to be confirmed by a retest, right? These corrective patterns always come in flavors of 3. So this is your breakout 1, and your retest 2. Okay, and your retest itself is a 3-wave move, 1, 2, 3, or a flavor of 3, right? And now your actual breakout is 3. That's your flavor of 3. Okay, so this looks really good for altcoins. I know it's not that exciting because we've pretty much been in a range for the past 5 days, but I want you to look at it more carefully with the eyes of an analyst and maybe derive a bit of excitement from this. If you just look at it as any consolidation, 5 days, Dean, it hasn't pumped like you said it would, I'm bored, I think you were wrong, fine. But now, let me offer this. You see some consolidation, right? A breakout of that consolidation, a retest of that consolidation. You can also see it as a larger channel, breakout of that channel, retest of the midline. We know that you can't break a channel without retesting the midline. Midline retested, there's your breakout. Very confidence inspiring for a subsequent move up, and that's what we're looking for. That's what we need. Remember, the overall thesis is that altcoins are going to give you that larger move. Let's zoom out for a second. Altcoins are going to give you that larger move to get out of the way before Bitcoin really dumps, because that Bitcoin dump that we've been talking about on this channel for months is imminent. Before that happens, altcoins have to move off of their multi-year levels of support and at the very least put in a move like this so that their retracement can be can make a higher low. If Bitcoin dumps, they're not going to make a lower low. So this, I don't even think that this, yeah, this can be it. This can be it. Of this aggregate 40% move in the total 3 can be the extent of the move, because then the retracement gives you a 20% retracement, and I can see that altcoins in aggregate doing 20%, going down 20%, while Bitcoin goes down 20% in its first move down. And I think our target, the first big move down, is to 91. So I can see that. So that may very well be it. I don't know. We'll see when we get there, but that may very well be the extent of the move right here that we see as Bitcoin matriculates to between 107 and 108, that may be the 40% move that we're looking for in the total 3. Okay, I'm not going to make this video too long, but I wanted to share this with you. I've noticed, and I look at the charts obsessively, and here's one thing I've noticed, and I'm going to share with you. I'm not going to gatekeep anything. Altcoins tend to move off market. I'm going to repeat that. Altcoins tend to move off market. When you're looking at altcoins as a whole, not necessarily one particular altcoin, one particular project. And let me underline the context. The context of this observation is that we're in a cryptocurrency market where Bitcoin is countercorrecting. So altcoins are now against the grain. So whatever Bitcoin's doing, altcoins are not doing, right? Bitcoin's kind of preparing to make a massive move down. Altcoins are preparing to make a massive move up. So that's the context that I put in my head, because historically, if you look, in years past, altcoins can follow Bitcoin when they're on the same page, meaning altcoins are pumping, Bitcoin pumping on a higher time frame and a smaller time frame. I hope I'm not confusing you, but watch this. So I'm on the hourly time frame. Remember, when we're looking at this Bitcoin dominance indicator, this Bitcoin dominance chart, every time it's coming down, and coming down quite impulsively and decisively, that means altcoins are gaining against Bitcoin. Watch when this happens, all right? So the first time on this chart, and this is you can do a higher time frame back test of this theory. You can play with it, you can put it in AI, right? But I'm just going to do, months worth of data with you right here. So here, this is one point of altcoins really gaining against Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin dominance plunges. And that was when? That was Wednesday the 7th, okay? So Wednesday the 7th. But actually, let's look at the time, right? Because you can look at the day of the week, but it's actually more important to look at, is it off market? When I mean off market, I mean when the traditional markets aren't trading. So traditional markets trade, I believe, 9 to 4 or 9:30 to 4:30 or something like that. And then again, after 7:30 p.m., thereabouts, or between 8, and then obviously Monday through Friday, okay? So let's see, when is this happening? So look, this May 7th, Wednesday, May 7th, it's a weekday, but it happens off hours at 10 p.m. Is that off hours? Yeah, that's off hours. 9 to 4, right? Did I say, okay, I'm confusing with the DXY. The traditional markets trade between 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m., right? So yeah, that's off peak. So that counts, okay? I'm confusing myself. So that's pretty much trading at night when, the US stock exchange is closed. Next. Here, let's take this one right here. This happened May 26th. May 26th was Labor Day. It was a holiday, a bank holiday, when the US stock market was not open. Again, off peak trading, off hours, off the traditional markets. Altcoins gain against Bitcoin. What's another example? Right here. Monday at 2 a.m. Altcoins gain against Bitcoin. Now, today, I think the move is imminent in altcoins. And I was looking at the chart and I was, I wonder if we wait until the traditional market, the traditional US stock market closes after 4:30 or 5 p.m. before this starts going back down. And just looking at this momentum, I'm going to turn on the momentum indicator. We start exhausting momentum at precisely, look at this doji, 4:30 p.m. You run into resistance here. So I'm not surprised if indeed in the coming hours that starts trending down again and altcoins gain against Bitcoin, and that goes on until when? 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, Thursday, June 5th. Let's watch this, right? This is a developing theory. And again, the context is when altcoins are going against Bitcoin, because right now Bitcoin's counter trending and altcoins are trending positively. Bitcoin's counter trending, right? Because it's correcting, it's counter correcting rather, for a larger correction. But altcoins are not in larger correction. They're actually trending up, or they're preparing to trend up. So maybe this flips on its head when Bitcoin finally finds support between 60 and 70K, and then Bitcoin and altcoins finally enter a positive bull market together. Maybe then everything happens during the traditional hours. I don't know. I'm just going to keep watching that. It's something I wanted to share with you. I'm always looking at different things and trying to find patterns to crack the code of, the crypto market. So guys, if you got value, please like, share, and subscribe. Consider tipping me, Venmo, Litecoin, Cash App, all at the pinned comment below, and consider my crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation service also at the pinned comment below, where I go one-on-one with you for up to 2 hours every month and help you balance your portfolio, choose up to 5 altcoins where you can maximize your gains by identifying logical support and resistance areas to buy and sell. And that's it, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
While the world spins without me, arrived at the fork in the road, could turn back, repeat the same story, or march forward and embrace change and reflect upon His glory. I'm a selfish man, therein lies the whole problem. Torn between my actions and the will of my heart. I had to take it all apart to see where I stood as a man, to depart from this world and leave it in His hands. Come on. Yeah. Looks like I'm heading for the gold, y'all. Touring on a pothole road, y'all. I get it even if I didn't fit in, winning right up to the end, like I didn't even know, y'all. I have Pop's genetics, working hard never to get it, like shit I better than letting life get the best of my efforts. Instead I dedicated to bettering my steps, measuring investments, watch me do it to the death, y'all.